I'm doing well. How are you today?
Good, thank you.
Did you have a good weekend?
We did. We took Elliot to a barbecue.
And how did he do?
Did really, really well. So he has he was a quiet dog. Remember how you said you can't stand the barking? Starts barking at people, but once he kind of gets to know, he seems to calm down and be fine. His tail's wagging the whole time, but I think he gets a little.
Okay.
So, and we had somebody come into our house, and he definitely was barking up a storm and a little bit of growling, but wagging the tail. And I don't know if it was because somebody actually came. When we're on walks and he sees people, he's always happy, and but maybe it was because it was in our house.
Yeah. So one of the topics we're gonna talk about is socialization. I usually do that like either first or second because it's so important. Same with house training. It's all the information is really important. It's just hard to do all at once. So we're definitely going to do socialization on Wednesday because that's a really key piece to everything with regards to raising a happy and confident adult dog. So we'll definitely get into that as well. These are really good things to note. If he's growling at some people, we want to take note of that and help him through that because we don't want him to associate people with something scary or bad and feel right to growl because we don't want him to feel that he's got to snap or bite.
Right.
So that's definitely a topic we're gonna cover. And I know crate training is super important to you as well. So we're going to cover that one today.
Yeah, and I have a question for you about that though. So again, first time dog owner, and it talks about you want to use a crate, you want to use the crate. Is it horrible to not use a crate if we have like a quarantined area?
So we're going to show you this awesome thing that I got going on in the background today. Okay. I set it all up for you.
Okay, awesome. So I'm just texting Dan. Hold on, get Dan to the meeting. He should be joining.
There he goes. I see he's waiting to get admitted. There
okay,
you
good.
go. Excellent. Yeah, when it's just me doing it, it's hard to see when somebody else is coming in. Hey, how are you?
Hello.
There he is. Hi. Yeah. So I was we were just talking about the crate and what to use, what not to use, that kind of thing. So I like to teach a couple of different things to puppies. So the system I have in the back that I'm going to show you, I call Puppy Townhouse. It is a crate and an X-Pen together. I also suggest Puppy Condo, which is a little bit smaller depending on the space that you're going to use. And then, of course, I also suggest Puppy Studio Apartment, which is basically like a gated off room, like a kitchen or a laundry room. So you don't necessarily have to use a crate. I like the idea of getting dogs used to a crate because they are going to have to be in a crate at some point in their lives, and I don't want them to be panicked when they need to utilize it. So it might not be something you use forever. Once we start teaching dogs and they do well about house training and we get through that puppy mouthing, nipping, and biting phase and they can have more house privileges, sometimes people don't use their crates anymore.
Okay.
Sometimes they only use them when need be. So maybe perhaps the dog is used to a crate because we got them acclimated to a crate, and now you're going to have painters come to the house and you don't want the painters in and out accidentally letting your dog out of the house. So you're going to put the dog in the crate for a part of the day somewhere so the dog is safe. Or maybe you have some guests over and the guests might not be dog savvy or love dogs and they might be afraid of dogs. So you want to keep your dog safe. So you want a safe space to put your dog. So a crate can be useful for that. Of course, if you get your dog acclimated to being alone, you can still put them in a bedroom with a gate up or something like that. The crate tends to work well because the dogs don't usually accidentally get let out of a crate. If we put a dog in a bedroom, somebody goes, oh, let me just peek in at the dog. And then the dog gets out. And then the next thing you know, the dog's now outside. I actually have a client, I found out over the weekend, one of her kids opened the door and let the dog out, one of their dogs out, and their newest dog got hit by a car and was killed. Yeah, so it's really sad. So, I mean, sometimes, we can avoid certain things by having certain tools in place. And if we utilize them, it can be really helpful. So even when we have guests over, again, somebody can open the bedroom door and be like, oh, I just want to peek in, and then accidentally let the dog out. And then, the dog is now with a crowd of guests and you've got people who might be afraid of dogs and they're just making the situation worse. So I'm always about management and keeping, my dogs are so important to me. Anytime I do something, I'm always thinking about how can I make it better and safer and more comfortable for my dogs. Because I don't ever want them to be in any kind of situation where we can have, you know, something bad happen. So I'm going to actually show you this before we start with the crate training. And let me just get this all fixed here. All right, there we go. So you can you see a bigger, can you see this okay back here?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see here. Okay, so this is what I call puppy townhouse. What this is a crate, which is here, this big crate, and it has an X pen that you were talking about attached to it. So this X pen has a door. Yours probably has a door too if you're using one, so you can get in and out instead of lifting puppy up and over, which is hard. All I do is I take the clips that it comes with and I clip it to here. I left one loose, it was easy. I just take the clips and I clip the wire X pen to the wire crate so it's sturdy. You can also use carabiners. I usually use carabiners, but I'm using my carabiners on a different pen right now, so I couldn't use them for this one. And you just attach it to the crate. So it's all here, all in one. Puppy has access to the crate and isn't being put in the crate before they're ready with the door closed, which can be scary. This is why we get puppies who are afraid to go in their pens because they're not used to it. Even if it's not a crate, a puppy may bark, whine, and cry even in their pen that's set up without the crate because they're not used to being in this kind of a setup. So the reason I like this is because the puppy can go in and out of the crate at their own free will. They're not being closed in here with the door and making it a scary place, but they're still safely contained while you're house training and you're chilling with puppy mouthing, nipping, and biting. And so the stuff in your house isn't getting chewed. This allows my cute little puppy, fake puppy here, he can come in here and he's got plenty of room to play with any of their food dispensing toys. They can have room to roll it around in here. They have plenty of room to lay down and chew their bones. They've got their stuffy toys that they can rip apart and mutilate while they're in here. It's got a water bowl. This attaches to the wire crate, so that way puppies don't slop it all over the place and make a big mess on the floor. And again, they have all this room in here. They can come in and out of the crate at their own free will, and they don't have to be afraid of coming in here and having this closed, which is really, really scary for puppies, and it can set our training back when we're trying to teach them about being in their safe space alone. I also like this because when we're teaching our puppies to be alone, and we're going to go over some of these things, we want to make sure that we make this a great space. And I think you had mentioned that you were scattering some treats in here already. We're going to continue to do that, but this also affords us the opportunity to use our Kongs, which I'm a huge proponent of. You can take your Kong and you can put it in your crate, but not have the puppy take it out. You can take your Kong and you can put it between the wire pieces in the crate. It fits in there nicely. It goes right in there. They can't just pull it out. So now they have to come in here and enjoy their Kong. So it's associating their crate with good stuff. If we have a puppy who's afraid to come in a crate, and when we start working with Elliot, if he's afraid to kind of go in and out, if you've got a crate set up, we wouldn't put it all the way in there because he's not going to want to go get it. We put it closer. So he puts his little head in here and he learns that, oh, that's not so scary. Then when he's really comfortable with that, we put it back a little further, a little further. So this whole system works great to acclimate our puppies about being alone, about having a safe space. And it also gives us the freedom to have our puppies somewhere without them causing house training accidents or chewing up our stuff. You can make this smaller. I call this puppy townhouse. You can make this smaller depending on the space you have, where you don't have to clip it right to the front. You can take your panels and clip them back a little bit further. This one I would stay on the front because it's the door, but you could take that side, pull it back further. So you don't have as big of a space, but it's still enough space to afford the puppy to come out so he doesn't have to feel locked in the crate or a space before he's comfortable being in one. that here. I also like having puppy studio apartment, which is basically a room. It could be an office, you know, it's a room that the puppy can't get into stuff. So sometimes a spare room doesn't work because there's things that puppies can get into, but something like a laundry room or a kitchen, all you have to do is put up a gate. And you can put the crate in there as well. So that way the puppy isn't forced to be in the crate, but they're still safely contained and they're not getting into all their shenanigans, tearing your house apart and having house training accidents anywhere. Because the crates or this X-Pen system is really key to a house training plan, as well as puppy mouthing, nipping, and biting. Now, we never want to put our puppies in these spaces as punishment. So it's going to sound a little contradictory when I say when our puppy's being too mouthy and bitey, we might need to put them in their space. We're doing that to give them some time away, but we're not doing it angrily. We're not like, you know what, you chewed my shoe, that's it, you're going in here. You know, we're doing that in an angry way. Puppies need a lot of sleep. The average puppy sleeps about 18 to 20 hours a day. As they get a little bit older, they're going to sleep a little bit less, but they do.
How long does that last? When do they?
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, he's going to probably start sleeping a little less, but dogs tend to sleep a lot anyway. If you guys were, you know, households with, you know, kids and parents who work, if nobody was home and you put a camera up, you'd see your dog was sleeping most of the day when you're not home. Dogs do sleep quite a bit. Puppies need a lot of sleep though. If they don't get it, we start seeing more mouthing, chewing, and biting because they're overtired. And so that energy goes somewhere and that goes to the biting and whatnot. So having the space where we can put them is great, because if our puppies are getting overtired and we're starting to see some unruliness about them and we can't get them focused, it typically means they need a nap. And so we can put them in here. Again, it's not punishment. It's just that, you know what? You haven't had enough sleep yet. You've been up too long. You're getting a little bit overtired. And so in you go. Puppies can get overstimulated very easily. And if we don't have a safe place to put them, we're the brunt of all that puppy mouthing, nipping, and biting, because now they're overstimulated and they're just, you can't be focused. And so then they need a nap. So this is a great place to put them. So when we brought Toast home, we had several spaces made up for her. We had a space in this room made up. It was a little bit different. I have it angled this way so you guys can see it. It was angled over here more. But we had this space made up for her. And then we had our spare room that we were redoing. So we had all the furniture and everything pushed to one side, and we had a pen up along so she couldn't get into any of the stuff that was in there. And then we have a pen that we had downstairs. So we had 3 spaces for her that we could utilize during the day for different things. And the reason we had this in here, this isn't even a room we use most of the time. Like when we watch TV, it's downstairs, but we set it up in here because 1, it's close to get her outside to go to the bathroom when we come home, so we can get her out quickly. And 2, we wanted a space that wasn't right in the center of everything that we were doing, because we also want to work on alone time training. So I had different spots in the house where she could be, but not necessarily always right with us, because it's so important for them to learn to be alone.
Yes.
Because if they can't learn to be alone, that's where we start getting that barking, that whining, that crying, and we certainly don't want any kind of separation anxiety, which is a horrible, horrible thing that puppies and dogs can go through if they're terrified to be alone. So
are we going to talk about, because we actually have not left Elliot alone yet. We've only had him for 1 week, but we definitely we don't want to encourage any kind of separation anxiety. Right now, Dan is home all the time because of work, because of COVID. But
right. And that's what's made it really hard for a lot of people. I am seeing puppies now where I didn't see as many puppies in the past with separation issues, because people get puppies and they might take the first couple of days off and they're going about their own business while they have this puppy, you know, life goes on. But with COVID and the adoptions skyrocketing, kids were home from school, parents were home from work. Some of these puppies have never been alone, ever. And we are seeing puppies now with separation anxiety. I have a client, they cannot leave their house for 3 seconds.
Oh my God.
They cannot, 3 seconds. 3 seconds on the other side of the door, dog is in complete total panic and defecating on the floor.
Oh my God.
because it is so panicked. It's heartbreaking to see. So we definitely are going to be working on alone time training too as one of our subjects.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you today. It's called a sheet that I've made up. It's called Training Without Trying. There are going to be tips in there to get you started on crate training and some alone time training before we get into that subject, because there's so much to talk about all at once. So this is going to have lots of tips. It's going to also help with some socialization, which we haven't gotten to. So there's going to be a lot of these things. I call them training without trying, because there's so many things you can do without specifically doing something to help your dog. I mean, you're going to specifically be doing these things, but it's not going to involve you. You're doing it and you're doing about your business. So when we're crate training with Toast, we would put her in here and let her have breakfast in here and play with her food dispensing toy, but we would be somewhere else doing stuff. So she was alone, but we were associating her pen and her crate with good stuff because she was having her meals in here. And so food is a very powerful motivator for dog. It's how we change their association with things. She would get her bones in here, her food dispensing toys in here, her Kongs in here, and we would rotate where she was. So she might be in the spare room another time while we were doing something else. So we were still home. She can hear us walking around, but not at our feet.
Should we feed Elliot in his crate? Or?
Yeah, that's going to be one of the things I'm going to have you do to help make his crate, his pen, a great place. You are going to feed him his meals. Now, he's older, so are you still giving him lunch, or is he not getting lunch?
He still has lunch.
Perfect. Now you've got 3 opportunities a day. 3 opportunities a day. Training without trying. You feed him in his pen, his crate, 3 times a day. He's associating his crate as the source of good things without you doing a single thing. You're feeding your dog anyway. So you don't even have to do designated crate training for this part of it. It's 3 training sessions a day without you doing a single thing. And I've got this all written down for you already. I have a whole sheet for you on it. So you're going to definitely do that. That is, again, 3 opportunities for our puppies to start learning to enjoy their space. Why do I want to go in my crate? Because I get breakfast. Why do I want to go in my crate? Because I get lunch. Oh my God, I love going in my crate. It's where my dinner happens. So it's starting to acclimate our puppies with this as a good spot, because this is where the good stuff happens. We don't need our puppies to learn that the little cute mat that we put down in the laundry room with their bowl is a good spot, unless that's a room you're going to use. But a lot of people feed their dogs in the middle of the kitchen. They pick up the bowl when they're done. We don't need our dogs to associate their middle of the kitchen and a bowl with being great. Let's utilize that to our advantage. Let's, instead of making the dog think that the middle of the kitchen is the great source of where my food comes from, or the foyer, or wherever it is that we feed our dogs, let's make it the crate. So again, we're training and we're not even trying. We're just doing the things that we normally do, but doing them purposefully. So that is one way to help. The other way to help with crate training is to do actual crate training, and that's what we're going to do. So if your husband has his, are you at work or are you home? Who's going to do the?
Ian's home.
Okay, he's going to do the crate training. Excellent.
Yep.
So I'm going to have you grab your goodies, and I'm going to have you position your camera where his crate is, so I can see all the action happening.
All right, let's see if we can figure this out.
All right, yeah, it always just takes a second for everybody to figure out the best angle where to put it. Sometimes the floor works
Right
best.
on the floor, babe.
Yeah, sometimes the floor works best. Sometimes people will put it on a mantle or a chair, depending on where everything is.
Oh, Elliot.
Oh, hi, Elliot. Elliot's helping. Dogs are always so helpful.
Oh, what a lovely picture we have of his penis.
It's okay. I see a lot of butts. It's okay. See? I see a lot of butts.
Uh-huh.
Here we go.
And I'm going to have you position it down just, there we go. So because I want to see him as well. If it's at all possible to go back just a smidge so I can get a smidgen of a wider angle. I never know if somebody has it against a wall or a chair or what.
Elliot. Hi, baby.
He's so cute. All right. He's so cute. He's like, what are we doing? Great. So now what we're going to do to help start to teach him about going in his crate on his own is I'm going to have you go stand up next to the crate. I'd say stand on the side opposite of the door, and then open the door as much as you can so it doesn't impede him at all. There we go. Excellent. So now he's doing exactly what I expected. Well, I don't know what we're doing because he doesn't know what we're doing. I'm going to have you entice him over by taking a goodie. And now, is there a cover on the top of it?
No, it's got holes in it.
I didn't know. It looked like there was something on top.
Yeah, there's a blanket, but it's halfway pulled back.
Yeah, let's pull it all the way back because you're going to drop stuff through the top. Excellent. Perfect. That's going to give you a great angle to drop stuff in. Now, when you do this, you also want to keep your goodies hidden because we don't want to have him just come over because you've got a handful of goodies or a bag of goodies. So you can always take a handful, keep them hidden behind your back or what have you. So let's entice Elliot over and toss a goodie in his crate. So he comes over and he says, "Oh, what's going on here?" There we go. And then just toss it in and let's see what he does.
Oh, the cat conveniently just walked in.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he was being hesitant. He looked like he was looking off to the left, like there was something that was intriguing him. So I wasn't too worried that he didn't want to go in.
Harrison, can you help with the cat?
I swear cats do it on purpose.
They know.
There's big differences between cats and dogs.
Elliot.
Good.
Okay.
Well, there we go. Good. Now let's see. He's definitely still, there we go. Excellent. Good. Now, is he in or is he only partially in?
About 3/4 of the way.
Okay, so what we're going to do, and it was a little bit hard to tell if he got those hind feet in there. So what we're going to do is go ahead and toss another goodie into the back of the crate. See if he comes in. Good. When he goes all the way in, give him a yes and then drop another one in. That's okay. He came out. That's all right. So what we're going to do is he's coming out kind of quick. So he's showing us that he doesn't want to really be in there. He's not loving it. We're going to give him a reason that he wants to be in there. So when he goes in and gets his goodies, as soon as he's in, give him a yes and then drop another one. If he stays in, yes and drop another one. Yes is marking the behavior we like. Yes, you're in your crate. Now you're going to get a paycheck. So the yes marks the behavior and then the paycheck comes.
What's the matter?
Now, he's
your head on the way.
Yeah, he's showing me he's not too sure. And the cat's totally gone now, right?
Yes, he's
Okay.
on my hand he knows I have food.
Yeah. All right. So this time, let's entice him to the front of the crate so he doesn't have to go all the way in. Let's entice him to the front.
There you go.
And let's just let him take a couple of bites. Okay, now did you see how he leaned in and he left all his weight on his hind end? And he only reached forward with his front paws and his head? He's showing me that he's pretty apprehensive about going in there. There we go. Good job. Excellent. So let's drop another one towards the front of the crate. So it's an easy get for him. It's not too scary. He doesn't have to go all the way in. Good. Nice. Yeah, he's tucking his head in and he's getting out of Dodge as quickly as he can. Now, when you've been putting him in there, is he going in kind of willingly on his own, or do you have to really help him in?
We actually haven't forced him in at all. We've just been trying to do some toys and some treats in there to see if he goes in, but we haven't forced anything.
Good, good. We don't want to force him in because that's going to make it worse. Excellent. So let's work at his pace. Let's toss another one in about halfway in. And then when he goes in and gets it, drop another one. Just do a little bit of almost like a free rainfall that's going to go in there. We're not even going to worry about marking right now. We're just going to associate good stuff. Good.
Yes.
Good. Good. Yeah, he's like, no, I don't really want to go in there. Yeah. And that's okay. This is normal. He's not sure of it. Some puppies will go in free willing, and some puppies are like, I'm not too sure about this. And this is why we want to show him that this is not a scary place. So let's do another drop, maybe about a third of the way in. He says, how about I stay here? Good. Yeah. See, he's grabbing and he's going really quick. He says, no, I don't love it. We're going to help you out, Elliot. It's okay. Good.
Oh, that one's beautiful. Go ahead.
And now what are you using for treats?
Chucked up chicken.
Okay, great. All right, I'm actually just gonna fix this. I didn't change my gallery view from before, so you're gonna see my face instead of the crate. That's not what we want. Excellent, good. Okay, so go ahead and drop another one in.
Are you done?
And he might be a little unsure of this, so, well, he is definitely unsure of it. So it's gonna be hard for his little brain. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, see how he's really resting on those hind legs, and he's, you know, when dogs do that, they're showing us that they're not sure of something. So he's not fully committed to walking forward. He's staying back here, but he's gonna lean in. When he's feeling a little more comfortable, you'll see those hind legs come as well. So let's see what he does here. Yeah, go ahead and toss it in for him. Good. Oh, poor Elliot.
Are you done?
He's just not completely sure about this.
Come on.
Go ahead and toss it in.
Go ahead. It's all safe.
Oh, poor guy.
Come on.
Give him a yes and then drop another one right away. Oh, okay. So let's see, don't drop another one yet. Let's see if you can encourage him to that one. Maybe point it out for him, kind of bend over a little bit and show it to him.
Yeah. Come on.
Good. Aw, he's like, I'll come this way, slow.
Here. Here. Look, that's for you. Come on.
So with him, I would definitely set up something like puppy townhouse, because this is exactly what I was talking about. If a dog is not ready to be in a crate yet,
Yep.
and we make them go in and we shut the door because we have to go to ShopRite, and they're not comfortable, he's learning that the crate's scary.
Yeah.
And not a great space, which means you're going to have more and more trouble getting him in. We want him to go in free willing. So.
Is it possible that his little 3-day trek up from Texas in a tiny crate in a thing just kind of.
So just like people, if we have a bad experience with something, we might not like it. You know, we go to a restaurant, we don't like it, we don't want to go back.
Right.
So same with dogs, we all learn by association. So he may need a little more time to be like, you know what, that's not so scary, but right now it's too scary. Good. Now give him a quick yes and drop another one in right away.
Good. Yes. Come on, we can do this.
Yeah. And we're just going to take, and a quick yes and drop.
Yes. No.
It's okay. Let him do it at his own free will. Good. A quick yes and a drop when he goes in. Good. Is there any more in there?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch in here.
Okay. So let's let him come and get, the next time he goes in on his own free will and he gets one, say yes and then drop another one in. And this is okay. Don't be discouraged by this. We're going to help him through this. And the way we're going to help him is, good. Say yes and drop another one close. Good. So we're going to work towards the front of the crate with him because, you know, I was hoping after the first couple of tries, he might be like, oh, this is a great place where chicken happens. He might start putting more feet in. He's having a hard time. He's kind of getting his head in. He doesn't really want to go past his shoulders. So give a yes and then another drop right towards the doorway for him. So all he has to do is learn that putting my head isn't terrifying.
And should lunch be on the front end of the crate today?
Yeah, if he's not too sure about going, so what you can do for lunch is you can put it in and see if he'll go in for it. If he goes in for lunch, great. If he doesn't, now if he does go in, don't close the door. Just
Right.
let him eat it with the door open. He can come out if he's nervous and go back in and get his food. He can come out if he's nervous and go back in and get his food. If we close him and he's not sure and he feels panicked about being in there, it will set us back.
Right.
Now, for lunch, you can see how he feels. You can put it right on the inside of the crate for him. And if he's too afraid to eat it, put it right on the outside of the crate. So he's eating near it, and that will help him to start, because we don't want to force him in with it. All right, so let's see what he does here. Good boy. Yes, then drop right to the front. Good. So yeah, he's taken one and he goes right back. He's definitely not sure about this. And once he starts getting a little more acclimated, you'll see a switch. It's just going to take him a little bit of time. So let's not drop any more. Good. Now you can drop because he's in there. Drop one right where he is. Good. So let's put one. So have two in your hand. Put one right at the front and then drop one right when his head's in there.
Yes.
Good. And then drop again. Okay, no more drops when he's out. Good. So try to put one close again. And then when his head's in there, yes, and drop right to the front. Good. Good. And so this is really important because we're not forcing him to do anything. He did it all on his own. Big yes and rain it down in there. Couple treats right at once. Good. So that time he moved forward on his own to investigate. We didn't have to try to point it to him. He did it all on his own. Good. Now when he's got his head in there, a yes and a drop. A yes and a drop.
Good job.
Good. Good.
Yes. Good job. Come on.
Excellent.
You do it. Yes. Yes. Oh.
Great.
Good job, Elliot.
Nice. So let's give him a smidgen of a break. And if he goes to get any of those treats that are in there, that's fine. We're just going to give him a little bit of a break because, you know, this is pretty taxing on him.
Yeah. Good job.
Good. All right. So, I had a train of thought right before that and I lost it, but it'll come back to me. What was I going to say for that? That's what it was. So he was going, that one time when we were doing this, he's getting a treat, he's coming back, he's getting his treat, he's coming back. That's okay. What we're doing is we're letting him have the freedom of choice about going in and out all on his own. Because if we force him in there, he's not going to want to stay in there. This is about giving him choice. He's making the decision if it's safe or scary. So letting him go at his level, at his comfort zone is really, really important. So we're going to give him a little space, see what he feels like doing here. My Zoom just gave me a weird message. So I think we might have to dial back in on the same thing. If we get disconnected, just dial back on the same link.
Okay.
It's given me some weird message and it shouldn't be doing this because, yeah. All right. So something's up. I don't know what the deal is. I'll have to fix it later. So if we get cut off, just dial back into the same number, the same link. What we're going to do to help him, yay, good boy. Oh, so brave. So brave. What we're going to do, some things to help him with crate training is we're going to take some really yummy stuff and we're just going to scatter it in here for him throughout the day. It doesn't have to be what you're doing right now where you're standing there and doing it. You're just going to scatter stuff. So somebody else in the house can take him out to go potty and somebody else while that person is outside can get something really, really yummy, scatter some pieces in there. Let him find it on his own. This is him investigating on his own. This is him feeling brave enough to go in on his own to go get it. In the beginning, I would say scatter them towards the very front of the crate. So that way he doesn't have to go all the way in the back. Because just like that example I gave with the Kong, if we stick the Kong all the way in the back, it doesn't matter how good it is. If I don't feel comfortable enough doing it, I could care less. There could be $1 million in that Kong. If I'm too afraid to go in, I'm not going to go get it. Just like that. If you ever watch the show Survivor?
Yep.
They will make you eat disgusting stuff.
Yep.
I will be out on the first round and not do it because I don't care that there's $1 million. I am not eating a bug or, you know, something really gross that they have on there. So there's $1 million dangled in front of me and I am so skeeved out about it. I'm not doing it. So to him, it doesn't matter if you put hamburger meat in that Kong and stick it in the back of the crate. If he's too nervous about going in, he's not going to do it. So for this exercise, make sure you drop them just in the front of the crate. So he's getting used to putting his head in, and that's not too scary for him. And then when he's doing well with that, and you notice that he's not leaning so far on his back legs, trying to get them, but stay far away, you can put them in a little further. This is also part of that training without trying. If you do this throughout the day, in addition to the times that you're practicing crate training with him, it's going to help him because he's not being forced to be in there. He can get those goodies and he can leave. We're just going to slowly teach him that the crate is safe. If we have the pen up and we have it attached to the crate, he may feel more comfortable going in the pen because it's not so confined. It's not so restricting. And we would do the same thing to get him in. We would toss some goodies in to get him into the pen and see if he stays in. If he does, then we're going to reward him for being in there. We're not to the stage right now where he's in the crate and making the decision to come in or out, and that's okay. Sometimes that takes a little more practice with a puppy. So like right now he's pretty happy watching whatever's going on to the other side, but he's happy. He's showing us his comfort zone. When he was taking his goodies, his comfort zone was to come right back out and be, you know, that couple feet away from the crate. Then when he felt like it was safe, he would go, he'd get a piece, and then he went right back to his comfort zone. So he's not very comfortable about being in there very much yet. So let's see, now that we've given him a little bit of a break, and what I'm going to do, if it's not too hard on your knees, instead of you standing, I might have you kneel next to the crate this time to make it a little bit more inviting. Or you can even sit there if that works for you as well. I know if I have to sit on my knees for too long, it hurts these days. You can also try something else. Chicken's pretty high value, but we don't get to pick what is high value with the dog. The dog gets to pick it. So I might say, you know, chicken is awesome, but the dog might decide that roast beef is better than chicken, and that might be more enticing to him. So you can even try some other things to see if he likes it better. I know lots of dogs who love cheese, but won't do certain things for cheese because it's too much. So let's see what he does here. Good. And then let's see if he goes in to get it. Good. And don't drop any more. Just take your hand away. Let's see what he does all on his own here. Good. Let's see what he does. You can point to it and entice him, but don't put any more in yet. Good. Now when his head's in, drop one right away. Make sure you put your hands away so he doesn't watch them. Good. All right. This is tough for Bubby here. Okay.
Seriously, dude?
Yeah. So he's not too sure of this. We're definitely going to want to make sure that we work slow with him on this. So that way he is comfortable. Now, when you've been putting him in, you've been enticing him in and he's been going in okay?
In and out, like just what you saw, like he'll shimmy in and shimmy right back out.
Okay. So at bedtime, does he do the same?
At bedtime, he's not even sleeping in the crate. He's sleeping outside the crate on a mat.
Oh, you did mention that. Right. Okay. Yeah. He's not comfortable about going in there. I'm just trying to see if Zoom is going to give me a hard time. It is. I don't know why it's doing this. All right. That's okay. We work around it. Yeah. So he's definitely showing us he's not comfortable. If you have a pen like this already, you could set it up for him. And then what we're going to do with him is we're not going to work inside the crate to start because he's showing us that's too scary. You can feed him near the crate. That's fine. That's not going to hurt us any. I would say if you have the X Pen, get it hooked up so that way he's got an option and you still have a containment area. And then when you put him in, oh, good boy, so brave. Good. Yes, and drop in right away. Try to get it when his head's in there still. So drop this one and then have some ready. And then yes and drop, yes and drop, yes and drop. Good, good. Yeah. He's already doing a little better. You can see he's trying so hard, but it's too scary, but he's doing so better already. Good. Yes, and drop. Good. Good.
He's like, if I go in there, you're going to take me on a 3-day trek across the country.
Yeah. Yes, and drop when he goes in. Good. Yes, and drop. Beautiful. Lovely.
Yes.
Nice. Oh, see how he's reaching so far. Yeah, try to keep it to that front quarter. I'd say front quarter of the crate for him. Nice. Good.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, so brave.
Yes.
Oh, so brave. Do you see how he's trying so hard? He's like, I want to do it.
Stretching.
Yeah, but he can't commit to moving those hind legs because it's too scary.
No, but he's hanging out in there longer.
Yeah, so you can see he's making a little, yay, yes and treat, yes and treat, yes and treat.
Oh.
Nice.
He stepped forward.
He did. So we're going to let him have a break right now. This was a huge breakthrough for him. So Zoom is going to cut us off very soon. I don't know why it's doing that. I have to see what happened to my subscription. So just please dial back in with that same link, and I'll get this worked out today to see what the heck's happening. So yeah. Oh, good boy. So see how he's trying to nose around? So you can throw some goodies in the crate. Oh, he's trying so hard. He wants to be so brave. Definitely get some goodies and throw them in there. Switch it up a little bit. See what else you can put in there.